All right, so let's kick it off with this Michigan story because, whew, by now we all know that little milk teeth Sherrone Moore, disgraced head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, little PP managed to get him fired and arrested all in the same day. But before I give you my take on the rundown of what happened, just know that his wife looks to be standing by her man. Mrs. Kelly Moore was just seen walking with her community peen and their youngest child outside of his lawyer's office. I know Dr. Umar is somewhere shaking his head. So what did Sherrone do, pray tell? Well, this big dummy just cost himself about $6 million a year behind chasing some tail. The very married father of three wasn't just canned, he was escorted straight into police custody on charges tied to an alleged relationship with a university staffer, his assistant Paige Shiver. By the way, her father, Jeff, just so happens to have a long-standing career as a scout for the Chicago Bears. Now, the affair itself hasn't been formally confirmed, but Paige's social media pages have all gone private. So draw your own conclusions. By now, we already know that he's been arraigned, but here's where things get really dark. According to prosecutors in court, after that relationship ended, the woman stopped responding to his texts and calls. Then she later cooperated with the university, and shortly thereafter, he was fired. The prosecution wants him bad, and they laid out some really strict bond conditions. They told the judge that Moore showed up at this lady's apartment and began exhibiting behavior they described as highly threatening and intimidating. The prosecutor said he went into the girl's kitchen, grabbed a butter knife and kitchen knives and kitchen scissors or something, and began threatening to harm himself. And this is a line that made the whole courtroom pause. According to the prosecutor, Moore allegedly says, "I'm gonna kill myself and make you watch. My blood is on your hands. You ruined my life." Boy, if you don't get your little teeth out. That quote came straight out of the arraignment. I did not make that up. And the prosecution emphasized that while Moore might not have directly threatened her with the knives, the totality of his behavior was enough to terrorize the victim. She was scared and she called 911, and the dispatcher described Moore as suicidal and in need of immediate intervention. The officers later found him at a nearby church. Save him, white Jesus! He's facing home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering charges. The defense tried to paint a different picture, though. They pointed out that Moore is 39 years old with zero prior criminal history, no prior contact with the justice system, and strong ties to Michigan. They also told the court that he's already undergone 2 mental health evaluations and he was not involuntarily committed. But the judge ain't playing that. Bond was set at $25,000 cash. Moore has to wear a GPS ankle monitor, remain in Michigan, continue mental health treatment, and have absolutely no contact with the victim. No calls, no texts, no emails, no carrier pigeons, nothing. So let's call it what it is. A man who went from a national championship coach to police custody in a single day. And let's be honest, right now his wife is probably befuddled and humiliated and in a daze. But I wonder how long before she gathers the gumption to divorce him, take the kids, the house, whatever pension he has left, and kick off her press tour, start a podcast, launch her own career. She deserves everything. Don't argue with me. Francis Biff Poggi, who appears to be heartbroken at the news, has been named interim head coach, and he'll be on the sidelines when Michigan takes on Texas in the Citrus Bowl on December 31st. Poggi has already stepped in earlier this season when Moore was suspended over that sign stealing scandal, though. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you lose everything in a day.